Today we're going to talk about how to convert from one unit to another, or unit conversions. Sometimes this is called unit analysis. The key to all conversions is to set up a conversion factor. Start with a definition. For example, 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. Now you can divide each side by 1 inch, because what you do on one side of the equation you have to do on the other. This tells us that the number 1 is equal to 2.54 centimeters divided by 1 inch. We can also flip this so that 1 inch over 2.54 centimeters is equal to number 1. Most conversion factors you can look up or find in the back of a textbook. To demonstrate the process, I'm going to give you 4 examples. The first example, we want to convert 72 inches to meters. I start by writing what I know, the given, and then I have to find a conversion factor. Since I want my final answer to be in meters, I have to get rid of inches. Remember that if something is on the numerator and on the denominator, they cancel each other out. This tells me how to write my conversion factor. I will put the inches on the bottom and the other unit I'm converting to on the top. It's always good to check to make sure that the unit you want to cancel is actually canceling. In this case, the inches go away. But we're stuck in centimeters, and the question wanted us to figure out meters. So I have to create another conversion factor, this time to get rid of the centimeters on the bottom and turn them into meters. Remember that conversion factors are all equal to 1, and you're always allowed to multiply something by the number 1. Now that we have our units that we want and canceled all the rest, it's time to combine everything together. So for this, I'll have 72 times 2.54 meters on the top, all divided by 100, which you can plug into your calculator and get 1.8288 meters, which is too many sig figs. Remember that defined numbers don't change the amount of significant figures because they're not a measurement. So we only had 2 to start off with. We need to round our final answer to 2 significant figures, or 1.8 meters in this case. Our second example has us converting 72.5 kilograms into pounds. Again, I'm going to start off with what is given, 72.5 kilograms, and put it over 1. Now I have to create a conversion factor. Now, I looked this up earlier, so I know that 2.205 pounds is equal to 1 kilogram. Notice how our units cancel out, leaving us with the unit we want. Now you can plug this into your calculator and get 159.86 pounds, which when we round to 3 sig figs, which our given number was, gives us 160 pounds. Another common conversion is going from miles to kilometers. Say we want to know how far 26.2 miles is in kilometers. I start off writing what I know, 26.2 miles over 1. And here's a useful conversion factor to memorize. 1.609 kilometers is equal to 1 mile. Again, we take a moment to pause and make sure that the units we want to cancel actually cancel out. If this is the case, we can plug it into our calculator and get 42.1558 kilometers, which if we round to 3 sig figs is 42.2 kilometers. Unit conversions can also be multi-step. For example, if we have 75 miles per hour, how many meters per second is it? Start by writing what you know, 75 miles all over 1 hour. Now you have to pick which unit to get rid of first. I'm going to choose to get rid of the miles, so I put it on the bottom. And I know that 1.609 kilometers equals 1 mile. But my final answer is in meters, or needs to be in meters. So I need to convert that kilometer into meters. Fortunately, metric conversions are pretty straightforward. Now we also have to convert time. I know that 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. But we need to get this into seconds, so we have to do yet another conversion. And 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. At this point, you should pause and double check that everything canceled out correctly. So we have miles on top, miles on bottom, cancel out nicely. Kilometers on top, kilometers on bottom, also cancel out. Now meters we want to keep on top. Hours and hours cancel out. Minutes and minutes also cancel out, leaving us with just meters per second. Let's clean this up a little bit. So all this is going to be equal to 75 times 1.609 times 1,000, all divided by 60 times 60. And the units are going to be meters per second. Plug that into your calculator, you get 33.5 meters per second, or with the right number of sig figs, 34 meters per second. One final word of warning. When converting area or volume, you have to do multiple conversions. Again, start off with what you know, 5.0 cubic inches, all over 1. I'm going to multiply that by a conversion factor. I know that 2.54 centimeters equals 1 inch. However, this only gets rid of 1 inch. I need to get rid of 3. So I have to repeat my conversion factor. And I will have to do this until everything cancels out that I want to get rid of. For volume, that means you have to do it 3 times. For area, you'd only have to do it twice. So notice all my inches have canceled out. And I'm just left with centimeters times centimeters times centimeters, or centimeters cubed. If you plug all these numbers in, you should get 81.9 centimeters cubed, which rounds to 82 centimeters cubed.